Hello ladies, gentlemen, and those that don't identify themselves in that binary. I'm the Ski, and welcome to my Pokémon Shield Nuzlocke. After our lucky escape at the gym, I've never seen a tract work so many times in a row. We need to head out and move on towards our next gym challenge. As we leave, we run into Oleana, the assistant to the chairman, who tells us that we need to get to the seafood restaurant right away to meet the chairman after he promised us a meal should we win. Thankfully we did. Only just, but we did. At this point I do feel like realistically this Nuzlocke should be over, but I'll take that many tracts in a row. So we go to the seafood restaurant, and as we walk inside we see Sonia is speaking to the chairman and Oleana, who is very quick at walking because I was on my bike and she just got here before us. Still, we get to sit. There's napkins on the plate, so we've not eaten yet. And I think that's quite important. So, Rose tells us the natural cuisine here. Obviously it's going to be seafood. If you're going to eat in a seafood town, eat the seafood. Great. Has a chat about Professor Magnolia. I mean, she gave us our Dynamax bands, which is great. And apparently she's given a power spot detector to Sonia, so she can find more areas of Dynamax in Galar, which will be interesting. Rose is agreeing really with Sonia as well, that looking at the history of Galar is the way to find out more about Dynamax, which is great. Unfortunately, before we've had a chance to eat, Oleana takes the chairman away, because he's a busy man doing busy man things. We didn't actually get to have our meal, which I'm a little bit sad about, and he didn't speak to us. In other news though, Sonia gives us Retaliate, which is usually quite a useful TM, because if a Pokemon faints, the next Pokemon that comes in with this move and hits with it does more damage, but it's not really good in a Nuzlocke, because we're not aiming for fainting at all. As we head outside, Hop comes and speaks to us, says, good, well done that you've managed to get a badge, but that Kabu, the next gym leader, is training in Galar Mine too, so we should probably head over there and find out what's happening. Having taken Hop's advice, we begin heading down towards Galar Mine number 2. This entrance was blocked earlier on by some Team Yell people dancing around, cheering on Marnie. Before we get there, I decided to actually put Pokemon back in my party, as walking into any area with just 2 not necessarily the best idea. So I brought back everyone except for Friedel, because to be honest, Vespiquen isn't going to help us much going up against a fire gym, which is the next gym, and I should probably start training up Heart so that I've got a water Pokemon at a decent level. Cycling down, past where Team Yell were blocking us, and into Galar Mine number 2, where we can catch a Pokemon. So I ran in, started swirling, and ran into a Tootle. So we've seen a couple of Tootle previously. This is a Galar Pokemon, one of the new ones. Evolves into Dreadnought that we just fought with Nessa. So, first things first, try and capture the Tootle. Now, Heart's not going to be the most effective Pokemon against the Tootle. Especially when it protects. Water type against water type, we shouldn't take too much damage from it. So I thought about going a bit faster, because if we can always be ahead, we know what we need to do, and if we do need to run away to protect a Pokemon, we can. Tootle bites us, and it does a pretty good chunk of damage. From a Pokemon I'm looking to capture, that is exactly what we want. So did a similar sort of chunk of damage back, and the water gun, thankfully being a water type, didn't do too much damage, so we can keep biting a Tootle, except of course it protects. Having any Pokemon with protect is nice. We can always teach it from a TM, which I don't believe we have, but we can pick up later on. But it's not so useful in the single player mode. We managed to get Tootle to flinch by biting it, giving us another free bite, which takes it down into the red zone. Flinched again, so it gives us a good chance to throw one of our Pokeballs. We have netballs, which get a benefit when we throw them into water types. And Tootle's water type. Perfect for us. First Pokeball captures it. Wonderful. So we pick up a Tootle. Going up against Kabu next, that's excellent because then we've got both this Tootle and Heart that we can use to take on the Fire Gym. And the fact that Dreadnought is also a Rock type is only really to our benefit against Fire. So we see that Tootle is a snapping Pokemon, like a snapping turtle, which is excellent. We need to give it a name. As Tootle becomes Dreadnought, the ship that next came out of the Royal Navy after HMS Dreadnought was HMS Bellerophon. And, you know, it's just a fun name to say. So Tootle becomes Bellerophon. Obviously, Tootle being a water type, we want to get it training up very quickly. So we need to replace one member of the party. In this case, I had to choose between Barkley and Mrs. Snowy because a fire type in a fire gym is not going to be most effective, but an ice type in a fire gym is going to be the least effective. After catching Tootle, I went back to the Pokemon Center and healed. As you can see, the party is all back up to full and Bellerophon has a number 2 position. And headed into the mine itself and came across Bede again. We seem to come across Bede in mines now. Both mines we've been to, Bede's been there doing something. Bede is nice and condescending at us. Fair enough. He's not in the mood to deal with weaklings, but it's a form of mercy to take us down. If we think we're stronger, surely we'd take them on. Okay, Bede. We'll take you on. So, out comes Solosis. And we've got Heart. Solosis is a Psychic type Pokemon, and Heart has Bite. I do like the way that Heart Arrokuda looks. It's very much like a pike. There's quite a few pike in the river near to me, and they do have teeth. So Bite, it's an appropriate move for this type of Pokemon, and it really helps me out in this battle against Bede, so I'm quite happy. So Heart picks up a lot of XP, which is good. We can only go up to level 27, as that's the level of Kabu's most powerful Pokemon he's going to use against us. In comes Gothita, and Heart uses Bite, because when it comes down to it, super effective moves are good, and being a one-trick pony is the way forward. Bite especially good because it causes the opponent to flinch a lot of the time. So yeah, the Gothita once again takes some damage, but Heart takes a Psyshock, which does a lot of damage. At this point, we know we're faster, so we use Bite. Unfortunately, Bede has a Super Potion, so this really is the last move we can use Heart for, because a second Psyshock is going to take it out. So, trying to decide which is the correct Pokemon to use. Bellerophon has Bite. We could try out our new Pokemon. Got a reasonable amount of hit points. But we do have Mulder. And Mulder, high hit points, good defenses, Bug type, so can take out Psychic nice and easily. Mulder is the right Pokemon for this job. So no debut for Bellerophon yet. And as you can see, Psyshock does minimal damage. And we have Struggle Bug, which will be super effective against us. I put up Light Screen because if we're going to be fighting against Psychic types in general, putting up a Light Screen will give us extra defenses. Mulder takes a Rock Tomb, which is always a surprise because, you know, you don't think of Gothita being a Rock Tomb using Pokemon. And we drop our speed, so we're going to have to take 2 of them before we get through the fight. But Mulder is still above half hit, and, well, we know that Mulder's got the damage taking capability. So Gothita is competitive, so special attack rose up after we dropped it. It's an annoyance, but to be honest, we know that one more attack is going to take it down. Mulder is now very slow for the rest of the battle, but I'd actually forgotten I'd left an Oran Berry on Mulder, So, you know, hit points restored, all good. Struggle Bug takes out Gothita. Very different mindset using Molder as to most Pokemon that I use in the single player mode of the game. Usually I'm very offensive orientated, but having Molder to sort of soak up the punishment and do damage back, it's a nice change of pace for me. Out comes the Galarian Ponyta. I've heard it referred to as My Little Ponyta, but I don't know, I don't think that's necessarily fair. We get an interesting Pokemon, and definitely interesting visuals on a Pokemon that sort of hasn't received much after Gen 1. Ponyta's not... I know it's not the popular one, because Arcanine came out of Gen 1, and Arcanine sort of was the fire-type Pokemon, other of course than Charizard, which Nintendo seemed to really love. The light screen went out, so we put another light screen up. We can take it easily take a Confusion. You can see very little damage coming in. If we had the Eviolite, it would be being held by Molder, but we don't yet, because then we could boost those defences even further. That would be great. Yes, with the light screen up, 1 point of damage. Struggle Bug can come out, Ponyta can go down. Critical hit, not needed, but always nice to see. So we've taken Bede down to the final Pokemon of the party, and he's going to send it out against us. Not everyone can corner your team, well, you're using a single class. And Hatina. Well, Psychic Fairy? May as well. Struggle Bug. Hatina gets to use Psybeam. One of the most powerful psychic attacks we've seen in this game. But again, we've got a light screen and we're a Psychic Bug. It's not going to be very effective at all. We do more than half hits and drop the special attack, which will keep Molder in the fight even if it wasn't so defensive. Second Psybeam, 3 points of damage, and Molder can easily clean up with the Struggle Bug. So that's a 2 Pokemon versus 4 fight. Heart, pretty useful, and Molder doing the job that we have Molder for. Hopefully we'll be able to keep Molder throughout the entire run, give us those screens early on, and let us sort of decide what we want to do by having that bulk that allows us to switch in and out of the fight as we need. At this point, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe, and as always, have a lovely day.